it's not just all singing and dancing in the life of Tom Dyer. Today, before going to Fiddler on the Roof, I've been doing Shaw for Mental Health, which is like a mental health first aid training with new pathways. And one thing that struck out from the day today is, if I can remember what it's called properly, the Holmes and Raye stress test. And it's designed to look at what kind of life-changing events have happened to you in the last 12 months, and each thing is given a score. So to give an example of some of the things on here, you've got the biggest score is death of a spouse. There's other things in there like business readjustment, change in responsibilities at work, change in social activities. All these different things come with a score. And you add all these scores up, and then it determines what your results, or the likelihood of you developing some form of stress-related illness. So 150 or less means that you've got a lower probability of about 30% of developing a stress-related disorder. And then it goes up to over 300, which is, statistically, you stand an almost 80% chance of getting sick in the near future. And you look over the last 12 months as to what's happened to you, and you circle which ones have happened to you in the last 12 months. And it's odd that I should be doing a mental health first aid course this month and doing this Holmes and Raye test, because my last 12 months have been nuts, and I scored quite highly on it, which I didn't necessarily want to score highly on it, but it's made me realise just how, to use the analogy that they use, the bucket, which I'll go into in a bit more detail now, that how big / small my bucket was, what undercurrent of things were already in my bucket, and how adding these life-changing events in the last 12 months can seriously impact someone to that point of no more. And the bucket analogy, to go into a bit more detail with it, we all have a bucket, and the size of your bucket is your resilience, which isn't necessarily that something could be defined. We all have different types of resilience, and within that bucket we already have water and different layers of water, which are our everyday stresses. So my everyday stresses at the moment is making sure that Activate Your Life carries on, that it's growing and is serving its purpose, and also I act, and I'm trying to launch my shop and all these other bits and pieces that I'm trying to do. These are my undercurrents of stress, which are all in my bucket, all quite nicely managed, and there's no real turbulence. In the last 12 months, what Holmes and Raye tells me is that I've had a deluge of extra water added to my bucket over a 12-month period, over a short period of time, which meant that my bucket then started overfilling. Now, in order to stop your bucket overfilling with these stresses, you release the tap. And the tap is things like physical exercise, socialising. Some people turn to kind of worse taps, which would be kind of drug use and things like that, to alleviate some of those stresses. For me, back 6 months ago, it would have been football. Playing for Broadhaven and playing football that way. That would have been one of my stress relievers. But over the 12-month period, or certainly over the 6-month period or 3-month period that things started going a bit mental, there was too much water added to my bucket, and I couldn't open the tap large enough, which meant that my water just overfilled, and then the puddles of the overfilling is what happens to you elsewhere. So you lose focus and you become short with people, and you fall into something like not coping. There's a cross axes as well that we looked at to do with diagnosed and undiagnosed, well and unwell, and then not coping. And only 13% of the population are ever 100% well, where they feel fulfilled and they're reaching their potential and things like that. And yeah, what I want people to be mindful of, and the reason why I'm doing this video, is to make sure that you're keeping your bucket monitored, and that you are aware of your everyday stresses, and you're relieving the tap, and you're actually giving yourself that time to read a book, to be mindful, to do something for yourself, and to spend some time relaxing and looking after you. And should you feel that your bucket's getting too full, talking about it. So yeah, that's my little 5-minute corner for you before going to Fiddler on the Roof. It's our 6th performance tonight. Looking forward to it. It was nice that could be my interesting thing in the session today as well. And it transpires that someone's coming to see it on Thursday from the group. Someone knows the guy who's playing Tevye, and her friends are watching it tonight. So it'll be interesting knowing that people who I know vicariously are going. So yes, that's my 5-minute takeaway for today. So yes, it's not all singing and dancing, and that's okay too. Just talk about it. Look after yourself.